Hello, everyone. It is Reverend Felicia Parazader. How are you? I pray that this finds you well. I pray that you are feeling nourished and supported and cared for. I am here to provide some of those things via a workshop on March 5th on Zoom from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the Pacific time. I have been running a series that I'm calling the Sustainable Series, and it started with learning to receive, and then we moved into learning to give. And that was when it got interesting because I said, look, we've got giving all wrong. How many of you are exhausted at the mere thought of giving any more than you can right now? Maybe it even brings up feelings of resentment. Maybe you've lost yourself because you've given so much to people, places, and things. The reframe on giving that I am proposing is to leave the land of giving, which is often really pulling from below and doing and doing and doing and doing, and instead shifting into the field of creating effervescence, creating effervescence. See, creating effervescence, it is about connection. It is about creating healthier ways of relating. It's about you also making a conscious choice and a decision to being a healthy, balanced healer in all your relations, in all your interactions. I know that we all have the potential to be conduits of change. And I also know that that takes learning, it takes healing, and it takes practice. Creating effervescence is a teaching designed for you to shift out of that giving energy that is so tiring, and instead to enter the vivacity and the enthusiasm that is effervescent, and that is all actually around us. It's all around us. And when you think about that, instead of doing and doing, there are ways that we are excited to engage with people, excited to be there for one another interpersonally and also in community. I don't know about you, but right now I feel that we are so desperate and so in need of healthier ways to relate to each other. We really need to see people, don't we, in a way that they need to be seen, and not the way that we think they should be seen, because that can look very differently. And we also need to hear people without misunderstanding them. And again, that means dropping our agenda of what we think that is supposed to look like. So in this workshop, this intensive 3 hours, you will learn how to, first of all, ground through calming your system and taking a good old look at your boundaries, not to just have boundaries for other people, but for you to look at the ways that you may need to tighten up your boundaries so as not to overrun others. And then the next part we're going to look at is the second practice of creating effervescence, which is open. And that is going to include you beginning to trust yourself. A lot of times people don't trust themselves because of the traumas and the wounds that they've experienced. Okay, so we start from there and we begin to trust, and that way we begin to open. And you know what happens when we enter that realm is we remember that there is so much wisdom that we actually have that maybe we are not utilizing the way that we need. Creating effervescence in theory and praxis in 2 parts. This first part will focus on grounding and opening. And then March 19th, we will focus on the last 2 practices. If you complete both, guess what? You get a certificate of completion. First things first, join me on March 5th. The Eventbrite link, you can buy the tickets, or you can go to my Linktree, linktr.ee/revolution of love. I pray that you will be there and you will say yes to this part of your healing journey. Let's be conduits of change and remember that the inner and the outer are always connected. Let's change the world. Yes? Yes. Thank you.